Empire of Japan. After opening its doors,
Never actually
a
played
push
this
for
game,
cultural transformation brought great waves
so I have
of
like
Western
very little knowledge of
influence
this.
to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
Hey.
But for one man,
Oh.
the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Did you get accused of killing someone? Wait, what? Huh? Hey. Hold on, I got. Never mind, you can't turn it down. Okay. There we go. No, seriously, is he the guy that's accused of killing someone? Oh. Okay. Alright. Do I play as this guy? Okay. Oh no, it's the British. Oh no. Alright. Bro, even if no one can see it, I keep getting this notification that says Brian Griffin is playing Bloons TD6. That's bad. Okay. Is the question going to be, like, do you want to pursue a defense lawyer? Is that what they're... I don't know what's going on. Alright. Okay, the prosecutor gotta be related to Winston Payne somehow. Like, that prosecutor has to be related to Winston Payne. Anyone that doesn't see that, I don't know how. I could not... That is the most clear connection I've ever seen. Okay.
Yes!
Bro.
Objection!
Alright. Alright. E. Thought it'd be tab or something, but I guess not. go.
Yes!
Alright. Okay. Alright, so I got this, I got this.
Yes!
Hold on. There we go. I think that might work. Alright, this for now. I think I'm just not gonna use my headphones. I don't know, just they're getting kind of uncomfortable. Hopefully this sounds fine. So, hopefully I'll be able to work out what the professor had in mind. Okay, I'm just gonna start reading the dialogue. Maybe that'll be better. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikataba? Yes, earlier the defense lawyer today, not me. No, that doesn't mean. Yeah, I saw that it's your assistant. Of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Sori must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has sworn, hasn't he? I hope you will be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. My first piece of advice is rein in that crazy bewilderment and control the cold sweats. If you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course, my name is Satoru Hosanaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called the Carnival. And, oh, what? Is that blood? Is that blood that just came out of that dude's mouth? Don't turn this into a dark situation or whatever it was. No. Kaido Momoa, Kaido or whatever. Kaido for freaking Danganronpa his execution or something. Sorry if anyone was wanting to play that game. Don't tell me he's dying of an illness. So I don't think that's. And also, I think that's going to leave a stain on that towel. Alright. What one, sir? And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Perspiring, maybe, but aspiring. It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have a few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over. There were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in my memory of it, too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. A random fool was playing Team Fortress 2. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair, and standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student. Why did I pick up a gun if I'm lying on the floor beside the professor? I didn't shoot him! Yeah. Bro. Alright. Grab my water bottle. Right. Let me confirm one point later. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today. I mean, standing beside the victim with a gun in hand was the same man we see here in court today. You see, that dude seriously needs to get that checked out by a doctor. Because either that, or he's the murderer and got hurt or something. You see, and apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Hmm? Just say, classic contradiction. There was no one else around that table. Classic Ace Attorney contradiction. I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello. There's a woman sitting opposite him at his table. It's not something I waited for and missed. I've been warned about interjecting. Still, what should I do? I'm gonna save here. Because, like, I want to see what would happen if I would interject, but first I want to see if wait and see is the better option. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Yes, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I've never gotten into university otherwise. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you've scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. There is something I want to say, so shut my eyes and say, just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure there was a lady sitting with him at the same table. Damn me. What are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could be the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all. But I'm sure of what I saw. Osanaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. Okay, if this dude keeps coughing up blood, I can't. I don't have like a blood phobia, but it is just, like, how did, I don't care if it's just how the character was written. How would anyone just casually cough up blood at least 3 times in a courtroom and be like, oh, this just happens sometimes. It's a little quirk. It's a little thing I do. Like, it's just a little thing I do. I'm just a little quirky boy. Like, how it's bro is just acting like he's a quirked up white boy with a little bit of swag coughing up blood like that. He's literally just like bro is coughing up blood, just being like, I'm just a quirked up white boy with a little bit of swag, busting it down sexual style. That's right, I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan added to the court record as evidence. Oh, well, is there a problem? And the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. He's been completely calm and collected until now. Dude. What is this man's problem? I guess there's gonna be more blood. So, the court has now heard a precis of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency?
If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is going to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in the terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiver as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense if you're determined to pursue matters further in this prosecution as decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikatopa said it, and so does the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? If the accused is in fact innocent, then the defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove their innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Aochi, please continue with proceedings. Warned, the young can be so reckless. Alright guys, I'll be right back. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. Look, in a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses. Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. That guy looks like Omni-Man. Like, no joke, he looks like Omni-Man. Myself, I find employees purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the influence of the nation Nippon. What did that last you say? Yes, sir, the great Nippon Imperial Army Surgeon Aya Sanosa. Reporting for duty, sir. And conduct my trade from Matsute, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Giorgio Kurakuta at your service. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. The diners at the other table the waiter mentioned. I said, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon, and not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curious with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer. He sounds like he's regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moments of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. Okay, I have the stream open on my tablet so I can see the chat. So I'm gonna check that real quick. Let's see what that noise was. That was like a that was what that sounded like, okay. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear from your formal testimony, please. You state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Standing by, ready to report. It happened again. That's what it sounds like. Unsavory memories of most acerbic afternoon. Okay, what the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the... How many more times is that gonna happen? How many more times am I gonna hear that noise? That precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Wait. I think... Okay, so I see two things. Seems like the military guy stole something from the old man, and at the same time said that, like, I don't know what absconded means, but if it means anything like stolen, then that must mean he stole something. And he said he got shot from the back, but if we look at the court record and check the image, like it doesn't, like, he says the bullet did not pass through the victim's body, and this is from the front. This is from the front. This is where the gunshot is. So if it didn't pass through the body, he did not see it going through the back. This is big brain time, dude. This is big brain time here. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. That freaking noise keeps playing. Don't ask about it. It's definitely not something related to the murder or something. Especially with the fact the old man beside me just pulled out a whole knife as if he's ready to backstab me like a spy from TF2. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. What times we live in when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But it's ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes, all I did was pick the gun I saw lying on the floor. After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it, so I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, well, if that's the truth, there's obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Yasuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now. Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of... Yeah! What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I mean, the defense demands its right to cross-examination. Dear me. Let me guess. The Hashimaki headband boy next door told me how to do it. How pathetic. Huh? Already know. The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination? The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it, it is irrelevant. What? He's doing so command. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins for you, Suke. I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. The key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. Alright then. It's all or nothing. Cross-examination. What the witnesses saw. Oh, he wasn't... Alright, hold on. I think I know what to do. Okay. Alright, from the back. But this seems to contradict that. What? What are you playing at, cadet? What's the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache. An inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's clear inconsistency here. What nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there was no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. Ah, so frustrating. Oh, please. Random fool is playing Bloons Monkey City, and if that's true, surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Ayasanosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir. But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Ah. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? What's that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious black carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. The witness, Sergeant Ayasanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion that we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Inconsistencies here for having successfully presented evidence during the first cross-examination. Okay. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. That university cadet there, he's pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back. Never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either. Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure? Indeed, the Hoera Koban, my prized coin, on each occasion when I visit the restaurant. It is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Razute. In hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffered my Hoei treasure. Believe that he purchased such a rare find, I did not, but I was presented with a little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished. The Koban vanished? Hunting around under the table, I was in case mayhap it had fallen under there. And then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoei treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoei Koban was lost to me. No doubt, some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. As I am sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. The government has promised to send a full report to the great man by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Alchi? Were he not, Your Excellency? The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witness has further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing the next statements, it will become abundantly clear. There is only one person who could have possibly committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryanosuke Naruhodo. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well. The court invites the witness to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as Kuriko Glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. The affirmative, the newest member of the Nosa family to rise up to the ranks, sir. Name, Ido. Seeing the straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. He shouldn't. Your father is but to quell the enemy. Watch him learn, my boy. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, what he was good at supporting man, he was such a man's back. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. These testimonies are certainly compelling. Wait, that's sense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't one at all. Please, enough of these outbursts already. There was a woman. There was a young woman at this table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her. If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. Ugh. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. Prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. Is this a photograph print of the scene of the crime, counsel? Indeed, the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there is only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. This doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. The photographic print of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. That's not true. I saw her. I swear I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we've heard, like we've just heard, leave no further room for doubt. These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that the Katsuchi will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor. Bro is down for the count. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. Now's your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick, understood? Rules can be so unbending at times. Ugh. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing as good as the poor man was which I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. Let's see, is there anything else? So, entrance. Okay. Hmm. Okay. What do you think, Ryanosuke? What's the matter? I can't find anything. I can't find a clear discrepancy anywhere. I'm done for. I can't win this trial. No. What's first thing to do is calm down. You can't expect witness statements to be full of holes every time. So just take your time and try to tease more information out of them first. What do you mean? You can choose to either press or present against each of the witness statements. If the witness is saying something you're suspicious about, press him on it with Q. With a little luck, you may get more details, which could prove to be crucial. Right, I see. The important point is, there's no sense in holding back. Check controls. Oh, crap. Okay. Yeah. Alright. If anything even slightly jars with you, press the witnesses on it and press them hard. Alright, got it. I'll press them like blocks of tofu. The professor wasn't alone in the restaurant, I was sure of it. In one way or another, this cross-examination is going to prove I'm right. I'm going to press them for all they're worth. My fate depends on it. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing.
Yes!
Why aren't you telling the truth? What did you say, Cadet? Couldn't remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining room, it's just not possible. Fortunately for you, Defense in Naruhodo, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry? The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the exact same thing. He also said the victim was alone. That's right. I'm aware you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady. But if such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. And if no such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a blatant waste of the court's time. There's just nothing I can say to that. What do you think? Alright.
Yes!
No. It's not the same thing at all. For a start, I did fire that gun. We have a difference of opinion on that. The opinion of a uniformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet. I don't think so. Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked. Did you? Did you see it? Did you see me blink? How could I? And yet, it is an undeniable fact that I did blink. So there you have it. Have what? Attention! The sound of the firearm rang in my ears, and the very next moment, I saw you waving the gun at the Englishman. I think that says it all, don't you? And let's not forget that the antique dealer witnessed the accused in this most incriminating position as well. Okay, it's been an hour. I'm gonna save and another time I'll continue from this. But